Hello. Global TV's News Prime, live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Judith. President Bola has extended condolences to the government and people of Libya following the aftermath of the devastating impact of Storm Daniel and the subsequent flooding that has severely impacted the eastern region of the country. A statement signed by Special Advisor to the Tinubu Media and Publicity, Andrew Ngalale, says the president further commiserate with all families who have lost loved ones in the monumental disaster, saying he sends his best wishes for a speedy recovery to all who have been injured during the tragic incident. Andrew said the president assured the great people of Libya of Nigeria's unwavering solidarity and goodwill during these trying times, adding that the disheartening loss of lives, homes, livelihoods, and critical infrastructure remains a shared grief that further unites the people of both nations. Also, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has sent warm greetings to the Alake of Egbaland, Oba Adedotun Aremu Badebo III CFR, on the occasion of his 80th birthday, felicitating with the revered royal father on the milestone. In a later personal address to the Alake of Egbaland, the President wrote, "Please accept my warm felicitation on the auspicious occasion of your 80th birthday. Taking place on September 14, 2023, I share in the joy of so many Nigerians in celebrating another milestone with you and your family, the Council of Chiefs, sons and daughters of Egbaland, as well as friends and associates from the public and private sector." And now the Vice President Kashim Shettima on Wednesday departed Nigeria to represent President Bola Tinubu at the G77 plus China Leadership Summit in Havana, Cuba. With the theme Current Development Challenges, the Role of Science, Technology and Innovation holding between 15th and 17th September. He said the summit would deliberate on development issues facing members, mostly from the Global South. The summit will equally explore proactive ways of addressing challenges facing the development of the member states, leveraging science, technology, and innovation to enhance socio-economic growth. Also, Shettima will, on the sidelines of the summit, hold bilateral meetings with the other world leaders to promote Nigeria trade and investment relations in line with the economic development diplomacy of President Bola Tinubu administration. The Havana summit would be hosted by President of the Republic of Cuba, Miguel Diaz-Canel, in his capacity as chairman of the G77. Still, President Bola Tinubu has directed payment of all pending group life assurance owed to the families of deceased soldiers without delay. Kikelomo Okere reports that the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tarid Lagbaja, made the disclosure on Tuesday while declaring open a Chief of Army Staff and combined second and third quarter conference 2023 at the Army Headquarters Command Officers Mess in Abuja. The President of
The Chief of Army Staff stated that troops' welfare and that of their families will continue to remain paramount in all his efforts to enhance the effectiveness and efficiency of soldiers.
I wish to express the Nigerian Army's gratitude once again to the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, for directing that all pending group life assurance payments owed to the families of our departed warriors be paid without delay.
In the meantime, the President also directed the armed forces and other security agencies to decisively deal with all security challenges facing the country.
I charge fleet commanders to ensure the maintenance of these platforms and equipment to prolong their lifespan and enable the nation to optimize its investments. To align with the directive of the Commander-in-Chief, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, that the armed forces and other security agencies should decisively deal with all security challenges facing the country. We must continue to conduct ourselves in a manner that reflects us as a committed force. In line with this, I conceived my command philosophy to transform the Nigerian Army into a well-trained, equipped, and highly motivated force towards achieving our constitutional responsibilities within a joint environment.
The Army chief noted that the activities of Operation Hadin-Kai in the northeast have effectively curtailed Boko Haram and other terrorist activities in the region, leading to the large-scale surrender of members of the terrorist groups and the submission of a large cache of arms and ammunition.
Thank you very much for that report. And also the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, has hailed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for what he termed his ingenuity and proactive approach in resolving the visa crisis for the United Arab Emirates. Akpabio would describe the action as a socio-political showpiece, said that it was an act of genius for the president to have seamlessly restored diplomatic relationship between Nigeria and UAE, considering the economic loss incurred by both nations while the unfortunate disagreement lasted, noting that it was highly elated at the development. Akpabio explained that it was a strategic move that will prevent and strengthen consular and economic ties between Nigeria and the UAE. He, however, assured President Tinubu that the National Assembly under his leadership would continue to provide the required legal framework to enable the executive implement of the noble policies outlined in the Renewed Hope agenda. Still, the Republic of Benin has pleaded with the Nigerian government to consider rescinding its decision to close border between both countries. The Assistant Comptroller General, Strategic Research and Policy Department of the Nigeria Customs Service, Adamu Alpha, disclosed this while reading the communique at the end of a two-day working visit of the Director General of Customs to Nigeria in Abuja on Tuesday. Kikelomo Okere has the rest of the report.
Assistant Comptroller General Strategic Research and Policy Department, Nigerian Customs Service says the two countries agreed to work and seek for harmonization of bound products by the two borders, while noting the work visit is a follow-up of the Nigerian Customs Service CG Adewale Adeniyi visit to the Republic of Benin. He stated that the visit is a desire of sharing commitments, promoting economic development, as well as strengthening of trade and facilitate partnership between the two countries.
Number 10, and this is a special addition by the Customs Administration of Benin Republic, that the Customs Administration of Benin Republic is requesting for the reversal of Nigeria's policy on the closure of Nigerian borders. This visit reaffirms the commitment of both nations to strengthen their bilateral cooperation, improve trade facilitation, and promote economic growth while fostering goodwill among their border populations.
Over the last 24 hours, we've been able to leverage our shared commitment to meaningful cooperation to consider and make progress on issues like managing the transit of goods through our territories, the use of our ports by importers of our different territories, and the issue of harmonizing prohibited goods, and finally, the attention we are drawing to the need to review the closure of some of our...
The Director General of Customs Service of Republic of Benin, Alin Katin, and Ambassador of Benin Republic to Nigeria, Adovi Polati, and the Ambassador of Nigeria to Benin, Olukayode Olubenga, who spoke in French, appealed to Nigerian authorities to open the border within his country. They noted that the border closure is halting trade facilitation between the two countries, as well as sub-regional trade. They further reiterate their commitment to cooperate with Nigerian authorities to ensure trade facilitation between the two countries on mutual beneficial ground.
I've gone through the communique, and two aspects of the communique are of very, very importance to us as a country, particularly the main irritant along our border, and that is the closure of the border. Not many Nigerians will know the impact, but for those of us who are on ground, it was like a war declared on the two other areas. And for this to have been mentioned in the communique, it shows that we are really ready to move ahead in our bilateral relations.
While responding to questions from journalists, the acting Comptroller General of Customs Service, Adewale Adeniyi, says the two administrations agreed that Nigerian importers willing to use port on Cotonou are free to clear their goods, as the goods will be free to enter Nigeria. Adeniyi added that the development will enhance building of trust and confidence into the nation's economy, while noting that the meeting will strengthen the bilateral relationship between the two countries to achieve a rapid economic growth and development.
So if there are people in Benin Republic who wants to use our ports, we're trying to build trust, we're trying to build confidence in our systems. And by virtue of this agreement, what it means is that Nigerian importers willing to use the ports in Cotonou can have their goods cleared in those ports, because there would be opportunity for them to pay duties on those that are liable for payment of duties. We can account for the duties for those goods in the ports of arrival. So they will now be free to enter into Nigeria. So the second...
The two-day working visit of the Director General of Customs, Republic of Benin, is to strengthen the existing bilateral trade ties and cooperation between the two countries, which will pave way for a comprehensive mechanism to harmonize the import prohibition list of the two countries. Kikelomo Okeri, Global Television News, Abuja.
Oh, thank you, Kikelomo Okeri. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, says 13 states and 50 communities, mainly up north, are likely to witness heavy rainfall that may lead to flooding between 13th and 17th of September. Ibrahim Faraloye, Lagos Territorial Coordinator NEMA, disclosed this on Wednesday in Lagos. Faraloye listed the states and communities to include Kano State, with communities like Sumaila and Kuche likely to be affected. He also said that Kebbi State, with communities like Agungu, and Katsina State, with Bidawa, Jibia, Kaita, Katsina communities will be affected. Other states, he said, were Niger, with Katungora, Mashegu, and New Busau communities, as well as Kwara State and Kosu-Bosu community. The rest are Zamfara State, Bauchi State, Taraba, Borno State, Adamawa, Yobe, Gombe, and Jigawa, with Duse, Gumel, Gwaram, Miga. Faraloye added that due to the rise in the water levels of rivers, Benue and Niger communities along the two rivers up to Bayelsa were advised to take precautionary measures in the coming days. Also, the operatives of the Imo State Command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has intercepted and arrested 6 pregnant females suspected to be running a baby factory in the state. The arrest followed intel on the activities of the suspect. I have more of the report. Stay and listen. According to the state's NDLEA, operatives while on a patrol along the Aba-Owerri Expressway intercepted 5 child trafficking victims who run a baby factory. The arrest came at a time when they were being relocated to a safer area in Ike Nibu from a hideout in Naze, all in Owerri. The oldest among them is Divine Ademoye, who said she is 8 months pregnant and confessed that this is her second time of giving birth and selling the child.
When I delivered the baby, if it's achieved to the gender, make it that you come.
How much you say the person go pay you?
She asked for someone like dropping me. She not pay me any amount, but she said that after when they take care of me, I want the baby. We talk. The fact they made me about the baby that is nothing will happen to me. They will talk about how much she has tried that you give me before I will give it and help myself.
One of them that caught the attention of many is 15 years old Choma Emmanuel. She said she was impregnated by her elder sister's husband and in turn asked to go into hiding to deliver the baby. Opara Gift, on her part, said she separated with her husband and ventured into the act since there was no other means of survival for her.
My sister's husband got me pregnant. When my sister got to know, she sent me out of her husband's house. And I'm an orphan. I don't know I don't have any help. That's why I go to this group to them to help me out.
I have a child before now, but I separated with my husband following the discovery that he is an outcast. And when I asked him what do we do with the baby I'm carrying, he said I should do whatever I like with it. And I don't have any other choice but to do this.
NDLEA authorities in an interviews with the suspect revealed that all the victims do not know the men that got them pregnant, adding that the victims will be handed over to the relevant authorities for proper investigation and consequent arrest of others. It's still the News Prime on Global Television, and now the United Nations Children Fund has said 333 million children are still living in extreme poverty globally. The report from UNICEF and the World Bank indicates that the COVID-19 pandemic led to the abolition of extreme poverty for 30 million fewer Nigerians than was previously predicted. According to statistics, around 1 in 6 children still live on less than $2.15 per day. UNICEF Executive Director Catherine Russell on Wednesday said a combination of crises, including the effect of COVID-19 conflict, climate change, and economic meltdown, has halted the advancement and placed millions of Nigerians in extreme poverty. The World Bank Global Director for Poverty and Equity, Luis Felipe Lopez Calva, said a world where 333 million children live in extreme poverty, deprived not only of basic needs, but also dignity, opportunity, or hope, is simply intolerable. The report found that 40% of children in sub-Saharan Africa still live in extreme poverty, the highest percentage of anywhere in the world. The World Bank and UNICEF called on countries to prioritize tackling child poverty and to enact a range of measures, including the expansion of universal child benefits programs. You're watching Global TV's News Prime, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across our social media platform using our Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your TV screen. When the News Prime returns, seafarers' welfare key to a productive maritime sector. We'll tell you about this and more after this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, the Still Global Television bringing you live broadcast of the News Prime from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Back to the news, a series of coups in West Africa is disputing the unity and capability of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, to the test as it seeks to restore civilian rule in the country, such as Burkina Faso, Guinea, Mali, and Niger. These 4 nations have joined forces to resist economic sanctions and potential military action by the other 11 countries within the bloc. On July 26, the military junta in Niger placed President Mohamed Bazoum under house arrest, accusing his administration of mismanaging the country's resources and allowing the security situation to deteriorate. In response, ECOWAS imposed trade sanctions on Niger and even threatened military intervention. Meanwhile, the coup plotters are reportedly using Niger's mega financial resources, including by allegedly extorting Sundep, the national petrol company, and diverting customs taxes to put people on the street and give the illusion of popular support. And now Libya was reeling Wednesday from a massive flood that killed more than 2,000 people, wreaking havoc in the eastern city of Derna, where bodies wrapped in blankets were lined the ravaged streets. Relief missions gathered pace with Turkey, Egypt, and the United Arab Emirates among the first nations to rush aid to the scattered country after the disaster that has left about 10,000 missing, according to international humanitarian workers. The Mediterranean coastal city of Dana was hit by a huge flash flood late Sunday that witnesses linked to a tsunami after two upstream dams burst when torrential rain brought by Storm Daniel battered the region. The confirmed death toll in the politically fractured North African country reached 2,300 by Tuesday afternoon, but some regional officials were quoted as giving figures more than twice as high. And still on the news, let's talk between Kim and UN North Korean leader and Russia President Vladimir Putin has wrapped up after a two-day visit. The North Korean president's last visit to Russia was in 2019, and he has not met any foreign officials since March 2020. On Wednesday, the leaders met at the Vostochin Cosmodrome, a space center in Russia, where Putin said Moscow will help Pyongyang, North Korea capital, to build satellites. North Korea has made space to technology a priority, but has tried and failed twice this year to launch a spy satellite into orbit. Chung-un said the meeting has propelled Russia into North Korea's first priority, assuring that the Asian country will support the Kremlin in its fight against ruling forces. So on the forensic, at least 56 people are known to have died and dozens were injured in a huge fire in an apartment block in Vietnam capital Hanoi. Some 37 people were injured in the fire, police said, adding that 39 victims have been identified. The fire, which broke out during the night, has been extinguished, but rescue operations are continuing. Authorities and fast-growing owners say many newly built apartments do not meet fire safety regulations. The cause of the fire is being investigated, but witnesses said it started in the parking floor of the building, which was packed with motorbikes. Residents described hearing a loud bang at around 11 p.m. local time on Tuesday and then seeing black smoke rising through the building. And now the Nigeria Labour Congress NLC has said its planned industrial action, which may commence any day from next week, would lead to an indefinite shutdown of commercial and economic activities across the country. National Assistant General Secretary of the NLC, Christopher Onyeka, said Tuesday that the federal government was wrong to share a bag of rice to a dozen citizens while reportedly giving 100 million naira palliative to each member of the National Assembly. The union had on September 1st handed down a 21-day ultimatum to the FG over the delay in sharing of palliative, saying it might be compelled to declare an indefinite labor action if its demand were not met. The NLC leadership had said the action was in preparation for a total shutdown, which would start at the expiration of the ultimatum next week. Also, the Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, Bashir Jamo, has said that seafarers lay at the heart of an efficient and productive maritime sector. Speaking at an enlightenment workshop for seafarers, employees of seafarers, and other maritime stakeholders in Lagos on certification and health-related issues concerning Nigerian seafarers, the NIMASA boss said that the safety and well-being of seafarers is paramount in ensuring the smooth operation and success of the maritime industry. Jamo, who was represented by the Head Administration and Human Resources Department, Hamisu Gambo, noted that the ability to maintain high medical standards and certification is not only a legal requirement but crucial to safeguarding the lives of those who dedicate their careers to the sea. He explained that the agency organized the event to ensure that ship owners, workers, unions, employers of labor, and other stakeholders in the maritime sector are well informed on the issue of seafarers' medical certification. He added that the workshop has been meticulously curated to address the present concerns faced by rejection of medical certificates issued to seafarers by some facilities, and they equip all with the knowledge and tools needed to meet the stringent medical requirements set forth by international maritime authorities. And still in business, the Central Bank of Nigeria may be asked to withdraw its audited annual financial reports, which were released last month. This came after a team investigating the Apis Bank discovered discrepancy and irregularities in the financial account. In August, the CBN released its financial account for the year 2016 to 2022 amid an ongoing probe of the financial services sector regulator by a special investigator appointed by President Bola Tinubu. According to findings, the CBN special investigator is working with a team of accountants, auditors, and forwarding accountants to carry out the investigation. Multiple sources close to the investigation said a presidential approval would soon be obtained to enable the relevant agency, FRC, to order the CBN to withdraw the controversial financials account. Top sources close to the special investigator and his team said while the CBN financials account were not prepared using the International Financial Reporting Standard 9, which demands full disclosure of all financial transactions, the Apis Bank allegedly used guidelines purportedly obtained from the FRC in a controversial manner to prepare the financials account. And now in sports, defender Leon Balogun was conspicuously missing while new striker Cyril Dessers was named in coach Michael Zubale's squad as Glasgow Rangers released their squad for the Europa League on Tuesday. Rangers announced their 22-man squad for the competition on their website. Balogun was not selected in Bale's squad as the coach listed James Tavernier, Cornel Godson, John Sauter, Bona Barisic, Dujon Sterling and Ben Davis as his defenders for the yearly stage of the competition. Rangers will still be able to register more players from around the 16, but the 35 years old is ineligible for that, as the list is limited to players born on or after January 1st, 2002. Balogun rejoined the Light Blues for free from Queen's Park Rangers last summer and has only made 2 appearances since the start of the campaign. Also in sports, let's join Sharon Aji for more.
Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. Football is, for me, it's always been about connecting with not only more of myself, but with the people that I'm surrounded by.
Super Falcons defender Ashley Plumter has confirmed joining the Saudi Arabian Women's Premier League club Al Ittihad Ladies. The 25-year-old announced this alongside a video of her unveiling on X. She wrote, quote, "Excited to start this journey alongside some incredible human beings. My journey of stepping into more of myself continues. It's more than football," unquote. Plumter joined Al Ittihad after a contract expiration of 3 years spanning 2020 to 2023 at Leicester, where she made 62 appearances. Away from football, WBC Continental Federation light heavyweight champion Goodday Appa has called on the government and private sector to promote boxing in Nigeria, saying it's the next empire that will rule the world and take over from football. He stated that despite the economic potential and huge capital inflow from boxing, Nigerians do not promote the sport. Bayelsa State-born Appa stated this in an interview in Abuja on Saturday, while being unveiled to the public by boxing promoter Jude Onuweakpo. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
Thank you very much, Sharon Ajay. For more entertainment updates, let's join Chung Animal Joseph for details.
Nigerian singer Rema has achieved another landmark stride after picking up his first VMA. The 2023 VMAs was held on September 12 at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey, and Rema, Shakir, Davido, Burna Boy, Arista, Libianca, and Wizkid were in contention to win the Best Afrobeat Song. Afrobeat history maker Rema won his first VMAs after he took home the awards for the Best Afrobeat Song for Calm Down, his international smash hit with Selena Gomez. Taylor Swift was the biggest winner of the night as she took home 9 awards, which makes her second only to Beyonce for most wins at the VMAs.
Before we walk out of this stage, I feel Selena should say something, you know? I want you to come on.
Nigerian singer Olorioluwa Oladimeji Aloba, popularly known as Mohbad, has sadly passed away. According to a source from Mohbad's team, the singer took a trip to the hospital yesterday, September 12, 2023, for treatment for infection he suffered from an injury, after which he was administered an injection. The source shared that Mohbad out shortly after the injection was administered and unfortunately did not wake up. The news of Mohbad's death sent shockwaves across social media, where colleagues and fans shared their sadness over the death of the singer, whose last EP was released in June 2023. Mohbad's last performance was said to have been at a spot in Ikorodu on Sunday, September 10, 2023. A statement was released on the singer's Twitter account on yesterday night, officially confirmed the news of his death. Mohbad, aka Imole, gained immense popularity in 2022 after his hit song Kopoke was released. In 2019, the fast rising star was signed into Malian Records, which is headed by Naira Marley. Unfortunately, he faced issues concerning his royalties and exited the label in 2022. His legal team released a statement asserting that Mohbad's exit was a result of the constant attack he received, which were allegedly orchestrated by Naira Marley. In his single released after leaving Malian's record, Mohbad Dismay Marley. It is worthy for the note that the singer was said to have attempted suicide earlier in 2023 as a result of the issues with Marley's label. This was disclosed by Bella Shmurda during his interview with a media personality, Childe. According to his narration at the time, they were in an apartment where Mohbad stepped out of the room, and shortly after his girlfriend burst into the room, frantic because he was attempting to jump off the balcony to take his life. The news of his demise has since thrown the public into a state of mourning, as his fans and celebrities have taken to social media to pay tribute to the rising star. In the short time on his climb to success, his music has made a large impact on the Nigerian music industry. Chung Anamel reporting for Global TV News.
Very well, thank you. And that's it on Global TV News Prime, live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across our social media platform using our Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your TV screen. Thank you so very much for watching. I am Judith Peters. Enjoy the rest of your night.